was short, but it changed the world forever.
That's why I was born.
To die?
To prove God's love.
On May 14th, forget everything you've ever seen. Experience for yourself who he really was. Jesus. CBS, Sunday, May 14th.
Yesterday, if you went to your typical home improvement store to get laminate flooring, you'd also get glue. Gobs of glue. Today, with Lowe's selection of Armstrong Swiftlock, laminate flooring is a snap. Literally, each board simply locks together. No muss, no fuss, no glue. And all at guaranteed low prices. Could we make this any easier? Armstrong Swiftlock flooring. Only at Lowe's. Improving home improvement.
Once in a while, a car comes along that's really worth pursuing. A car with features like an automatic transmission, alloy wheels, ABS, a security system, and more, all offered at a price that has proven to be very elusive. Of course, you have to see such a car. To not would be criminal. The Special Edition Accord from Honda. Now get special APR financing as low as 3.9% for 36 months on new 4-cylinder Accords.
Play Who Wants to Win a Toyota? Weekdays at 5:30 on News Channel 3.
From Hallmark Hall of Fame, Mary Louise Parker, Peter Gallagher in Cupid and Kate, CBS Sunday, May 7th.
Fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the nearness of danger or the expectation of pain. The thing that drives me is probably fear. Fear of failure, fear of not having enough time, fear of not being as good as people want me to be, fear of not making a mark. That's what usually drives me. Fear has kind of worked for me a little bit. And the times where I put the fear aside, my work usually suffers, which is sad, but it's true. When you look at the shots of Niagara Falls, you realize how beautiful it is, how awesome it is. Niagara Falls is one of the 7 wonders of the world. Just never stopping, never ending. When you get there and you see it and you feel the force of the water, you can't anticipate something like that. You don't know what to expect. A lot of people made it a personal challenge to go over Niagara Falls and survive. And a lot of people died trying. I really wanted to, I guess, kick it up a notch. The first step was to be chained and strapped to a board. My hands were chained. My feet were locked down, my legs were locked down, and straps went across my chest. Then there was an actual box enclosure that got locked over me, with my hands sticking out and my feet sticking out. And to make it a little bit more interesting, we set the raft on fire. A little stupid, but we did it. Then the raft was dropped into the rushing water, 500 feet before the edge of the falls. So I had 90 seconds to free myself from the board, from the box, from around the fire, and off the raft before the raft went over the edge of the falls. The night before the event, I was in my hotel room, about to go to sleep, and I had this nightmare. I had this daydream nightmare that I died going over Niagara Falls. When you're confined, there's a moment that's really scary. And that's the moment before you test how much movement and how much area you have. The unknown of how much leeway you have to escape. I don't like being confined. I don't like that. I don't like small elevators. I'm not claustrophobic, but I don't like not being able to breathe fully, you know? Remember, my hands are in view, and my feet are in view the entire time.
I'm fine.
So there I was, chained to a board, box enclosure chained over me, hanging from this raft thing with fire around the bottom. Remember, my hands are in view, and my feet are in view the entire time. And the camera never cuts away, just one continuous shot from beginning to end. When the raft was released into the water, it was the first time that it hit like that with me inside, and my head hit the top of the box, which threw me off for a second. Attached to the raft, we had a jet ski, just in case I needed to make a last-minute escape. The funny thing is, I'm really bad on jet skis. When you're in a steel box going down the rapids, the sound is indescribable, because not only is the sound overwhelming, but you're feeling the sound too. I was getting very, very nervous, which is not good. I was panicking. If you look really closely, you can see my hands struggling and going into the box getting free. You can see me turn on my side and pull into the enclosure. There's been a lot of debate whether or not I went over the falls or whether I magically escaped before I went over the falls. And I'm not telling you. The ending shot, where I ended up underneath the helicopter on a rope, was this amazing feeling. I was totally soaking wet. Everybody looks at the result and thinks I'm dry. I guess I kind of look dry, but I'm not. I'm soaking wet. But the wind from the helicopter is kind of blowing all of the excess water off me, and it was a great feeling, I'll tell you. At that moment, having the falls rushing against me was a view that you'd never, ever be able to see of Niagara Falls. It's a great memory.
Coming up next, water tank.
And a big spike that would go crashing down on a timer if I took too long to get out.
Lindsay never cleans her shower, yet it's always clean with Tilex Fresh Shower. Look at the difference. Soap scum builds up if you don't use Tilex Fresh Shower. Try Tilex Fresh Shower brand. The difference is clear.
Today, I made a new discovery about Yoplait Light. It's richer, creamier now. It's light, reinvented, and it is so good.
Discover the new taste of Yoplait Light.
Grape Nuts O's even surprised the folks here at Post. Oh, a taste that's light and toasty with a touch of brown sugar. From Grape Nuts?
Oh!
We had the same reaction. Grape Nuts O's cereal, a whole new spin on Grape Nuts.
For itch sufferers, announcing a first 12-hour Lanacaine with antibacterial plus vitamins. Works all day or all night.
It stops itching plus kills germs.
Lanacaine, itch relief that works all day or all night.
i1.com. It's like Yahoo or other search engines, except...
Leaks wrong! You have won $10 million from i1.com!
I can't believe I won $10 million on i1.com.
$10,000 every day, $1 million every month, and $10 million on tax day. i1.com. Why wouldn't you?
Whenever you want to put your hair up, predictably, it falls down. Unless you want it to stay down, then it flies up. But science has just changed that. Introducing new physique styling sprays. They adjust air spaces between strands, expanding for volume or contracting for smoothness and holding. So with physique, predictably, you get the style you want. New physique. Science gives you the style nature didn't.
I will never let this container out of my sight. I will care for it as if it were my own child.
A little overprotective of your Tupperware? Get Gladware, reusable containers that cost about 50 cents each. So if they lose them, don't get mad. Get Glad.
Know the difference between bargain bleach and new dry Clorox bleach? Spill dry Clorox bleach, just brush it away. Spill bargain bleach, and you may throw it away. New dry Clorox bleach, fabric safe if spilled, whitens whites like Clorox bleach.
CBS Next. A family's plane crashes in the middle of nowhere. Now, all they have is each other.
How we got here doesn't matter. What matters is how we get back.
William Devane and Patty Duke star.
We're going to survive.
Miracle on the Mountain, the Kincaid family story. CBS Next. John Denver's music inspired millions. Now CBS presents the untold story of his life.
Thought a song could change the world.
The John Denver Story, CBS Sunday.
Perform, to carry into effect, to accomplish, to do. People are really smart. Audiences are very smart. They know if you're having a good time. They know if you're being fake or phony. So when I'm at my best, it's been because I'm really relaxed and I'm having a good time. You know, the people want to be there and I want to be there. I'm comfortable around my family, around my friends. I'm comfortable on stage when I'm doing a show that I've done for a while, because that's almost like family and friends too. The audience becomes family and friends. The idea of the tank of water was to do basically Houdini's water torture cell. In Houdini's version, he was upside down in a tank of water with no air. We decided to go a few steps further. My version was to have my feet exposed outside the tank the entire time, so you knew I was there. I was chained to this contraption inside the tank with no air, kind of vacuum-packed tank, and a big spike on a timer that would crash down into the tank and into me if I didn't escape. Hold your breath with me. When my head hits the water, when I'm submerged, take a deep breath and hold it. So you feel what it's like to be underneath there. And the moment that you have to take a breath, that's the moment that you drown. I practiced holding my breath for 3 minutes. I got finally that good. Chains across my chest, handcuffed to the framework. The water was very cold. I bought a heater for the water that would go into the water tank. And the day of the show, the heater broke. So the water is very, very cold.
Now, I'd like to remind our...
Ricardo was great. Ricardo Montalban was the host, and you watched him really experience the escape in a very emotional way.
You are witnessing this just as if you were here with us through the audience. 56 seconds. David asked that I stress to you, no matter what your age may be, that no part of what you are seeing here should be attempted by anyone. The danger is...
2 weeks before we did it, I was in a wheelchair. In rehearsals for this, I had torn some ligaments in my legs. There was a little tangling of the chain, a little human error on my part.
1 minute and 30 seconds.
The spike was on a timer. In 3 minutes, if I don't get out, the spike spikes me.
I must say that David's parents are here in the audience with us.
My parents, they're looking very debonair.
Our concern, only
Very concerned.
Much greater than ours, I'm sure.
My feet are always in view, and Ricardo extremely concerned. We had paramedics there, we had a cop verifying everything. It was a theme in our show, the verifying cop.
But the time is almost gone, and he's still inside. We should check, can we? I think we should let him out, please.
It was very dramatic.
Oh, he's got one hand free. Oh, he's motioning down. He wants us to lower the crane. He wants to go on. However, there is not much time left. No, I think we should try to stop this. I don't see how he can get out before... Ladies and gentlemen, I must confess I am very nervous.
I think he was really scared. I think he was really frightened. Ricardo wasn't at any of the rehearsals. So when he acts scared, he is scared.
251. 254. The time is running out. I don't see it. Oh, David!
My mom and dad have been in the audience for just about every escape. And that particular one, we had the camera on them the entire time. They'd watch these things just like the audience. They've been there during the rehearsal process in many cases, so they know what they're in store for, but when things go wrong or things go different, they experience it exactly the way the audience feels it. You know, it's amazing. My mom never told me not to do this stuff. What do you think that means? The idea was to make an escape that ended off with a very big failure. It was an original illusion, basically a sawing in half with no coverage, which is very original for magic. To be sawed in half and split apart without any box or any trappings was a unique thing, and I didn't want to leave it just at that, so we made it into this big escape. And when we tested it and did it for people, they freaked out. We had a lot of people really, really get scared that I was cut in half. And that made me very happy. There was a guy in the back of the theater that walked in, probably snuck in. And after I was split apart, he shouted out, "Move your feet." And the whole audience went, oh, like I was caught, I was stuck. And of course I wasn't stuck. My feet do move. When the guy shouted, "Move your feet," I said, "Thank you, God." And when the feet moved, the audience went wild. So from there on in, every night, in every show, I had a guy in the back of the theater, my guy this time, shouting, "Move your feet." It's never been a problem coming up with a new idea, but a new direction, a place to take magic that's different or unique is always a challenge and a big responsibility. So what's next? You know, after you've vanished everything big or walked through all the impenetrable objects, after you've escaped from life-threatening situations, well, that's quite a question. We'll see what happens.
Coming up, find out how you can be a part of David Copperfield's next illusion.
David Copperfield, The Great Escapes, was sponsored by The Clorox Company, dedicated to making great products for your home.
Hey, who put the frog on the kitchen counter?
Ew, Sherry got makeup all over the sink again.
Come on, hon. Just a sec.
New Clorox disinfecting wipes. It's from Clorox, so it's more than clean.
A diamond? Is she serious? We've only been out once, and she wants a diamond?
If you want to get close, get the new Schick FX Diamond Razor. Alpha diamond blades start sharper and stay sharper for diamond closeness, shave after shave.
The diamond definitely brought us closer.
The Schick FX Diamond. The feel of smart design.
Hello out there. It's your Burger King DJ, and we're going over the top with the new Extreme Double Cheeseburger. Bursted with beef and cheese for an extreme taste. The Extreme Double Cheeseburger, only at Burger King for a short time. So burn rubber, baby. Y'all with me?
Honey, this is simple. He cleans, we clean. Better. Better because on tough bathroom scum, the power of Pine Sol delivers a knockout. Now, who are you gonna trust? Me or Mr. You-Know-Who over there? The power of Pine Sol, the smell of clean.
Whew. We had a smoker in tonight's carpool, and now my best blazer smells like an ashtray. So it's into the dryer with new Clorox Fresh Care at-home dry cleaning. Clean and fresh. Who knows more about cleaning than Clorox?
Sheila was shocked when she was convicted of murdering her mother in this car fire. Can this man prove her innocent? Accused, 48 hours Thursday.
Friday, what started as an infestation is now a full-blown invasion.
250,000 angry bees in here.
And there's nowhere to hide. All new now and again. Then, George Hamilton is a killer whose vendetta against Cheech could be deadly for Don.
Where's Nash?
Cooter's here and he's not. They found a body.
All new Nash Bridges, CBS Friday. Now, have David Copperfield perform his greatest illusions for you at home. Order David Copperfield Illusion, an exclusive 2-volume video set not available in stores. It's the first time ever on home video. Call 1-888-CBS-8881. That's 1-888-CBS-8881. Or log on to CBS.com before they all disappear.
I'm working on a brand new illusion. An event where people will actually disappear and reappear anywhere they want on the planet. That's right. People will literally disappear and reappear anywhere they want in the world. If you want the chance to be one of those people, go to CBS.com to find out the rules and what to do. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And thanks to the folks at Clorox for all their support.
Patty Duke and William Devane star in Miracle on the Mountain, the Kincaid family story, CBS Next. Friday.
To the one and only Mr. Cosby.
You're the best. After years of making us laugh, Cos is saying goodbye.
That's crazy talk. Crazy? What is crazy?
Experience the humor and the magic one last time.
Funniest man on TV. I love you, Bill.
Cosby, the final episode, CBS.
Okay, so who wants to win a Toyota? Watch News Channel 3 at 5:30 weekdays. Collect your 3 final answers, and you could win this cool new 2000 Toyota Echo. 3 cars on 3 from your local Toyota dealer and News Channel 3.
Mechanics, are you getting an honest quote?
I wouldn't charge anything for that.
Learn who to avoid and who to trust. Watch this 3 to the Rescue undercover investigation tomorrow at 11 on News Channel 3. Coverage you can count on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wink Martindale!
Thank you very much, Johnny, and welcome to the Virginia Lottery's Big Game Show. What are we playing for today, John?
$100 million jackpot.
This is the game show with no contestants, no categories, and no special skills required. How much of a show is it, Johnny?
Nope. But it's a heck of a game, Wink. Just pick 6 numbers. Virginia's Big Game Jackpot, $100 million.
Don't make me come over there, Johnny.
Why do banks want your $5 and $10 bills? Watch 11 at 11 tonight.
Tonight on the CBS Wednesday Night Movie.